Hello everybody, my name is Josh, and today we are answering the questions, how are raccoons alive? Now, there are actually 9 characteristics of life, but we're going to use 5 to prove that the raccoon is actually an alive organism. Now, the first characteristic of life is that all life must have a way to obtain and use energy and matter. Now, raccoons are omnivores, which means they also eat things like crocodile eggs, but they can also eat plants and fruits, like bananas for example. How is this a way of obtaining and using energy and matter? Well, they obtain the energy they need by eating those crocodile eggs and bananas and then break it down and get the energy using cellular respiration in their bodies. The second characteristic of life is that all life must maintain homeostasis. An example of this is during winter when the raccoon, it doesn't hibernate but it extends its sleep periods of time. They live on fat reserves and can lose half their body weight to maintain this homeostasis. How is this an example of homeostasis? Well, when the raccoon doesn't eat, it has to live on fat reserves to replace the food that it doesn't eat, much like a human does during starvation. The third characteristic of life is that all life must grow and develop. Now, baby raccoons are born in about April and May. They're taken care by their mothers for 2 to 4 months and then set on their own by autumn. After being set free by their mothers, they then learn to grow and develop into the wild raccoons that we see today in our trash dumpsters or on our porch stealing our cat's food. Next, our fourth characteristic of life is that all life responds to the environment. Now, raccoons are nocturnal animals, which means they sleep during the day and are awake during the night. Raccoons also have adapted climbing skills, which helps them climb trees that are usually in their habitat. Raccoons have also adapted to eat almost anything depending on the environment that they're in. These are ways that raccoons respond to their environment, because raccoons are nocturnal, mainly to avoid predators, which are part of their environment. Raccoons also have adopted climbing skills because trees are their part of their environment. So to respond to it, raccoons get these climbing skills to, climb trees. Raccoons have also adapted to eat almost anything because they live in many different environments, and they need to eat somehow. The fifth and final characteristic of life we're going to talk about today is that all life evolves. Now, raccoons have evolved hand-like paws for climbing and grabbing food in tough places. It also helps them do stuff like this. And stuff like this as well. Also, raccoons evolved from a form of procyonidae. However, they're being hunted by a greater predator. The smarter ones they hid, and eventually over time, the raccoons became smaller and a little bit less frightening. Now, the change over time is a sign of obvious evolution, but their hand-like paws are signs of evolution too. Through the years, raccoons had to do more complex tasks. The more complex the task was, and the more time it took, the raccoons soon evolved those hand-like paws that they have today. Alright folks, that's it for today. Using these 5 characteristics of life, we have proven that the raccoon is alive. Thanks and have a great day.